Datatec is next. So this one is interesting. It's a global player. It's got operations all over the show. Its two biggest operations are Westcon and Logicalis, but it's listed here in South Africa. There's also a consulting division with brands like Mason Analysys and so on. It's got high revenues, about 50% of which is selling Cisco kit. So it's a little bit more of a box dropper, although it does have lots of annuity revenue consulting and related businesses. Market capitalization 9.9 billion rand. So you can see that it was once one of the largest, but EOH has shot up ahead and has now got double the market cap. Price to earnings ratio 8.24, which is cheap, reflecting perhaps a little bit of ambivalence about the future growth potential, and dividends high, dividend yield 4.47. Okay, so Devin, tell me about this one, your sense of quite what Jens Montanana, the CEO, has been up to and how they're weathering the storm currently.
Yeah, look, I think they do well. It's a business that makes money. It's got a fantastic international presence. Probably a third of the revenues come out of the US alone. And that's been good for them. And as you say, yeah, maybe box droppers to a degree, but they've got some very specialized staff as well in the security software space, that type of thing. And what they're seeing is a big demand, particularly recently with Rand weakness, for IT skills and development coming out of South Africa, as opposed to places like India. English becomes a big benefit for our guys. So that exporting of these skills has become a lot easier for them. I think the problem they're having is they're grappling with this uneven growth in the different territories then.
Yeah,
so in Brazil,
a lot of comment about emerging markets generally being tough.
Correct.
And a bit of a slowdown in the commitment to corporate spending, which affects
That's
them.
right. And obviously the currency translations of those back into rands can hurt them or it can help them. It depends. So yeah, overall I think it's a very well-run business. It ticks all the boxes that I would look for. Not demanding multiple and a great payer of dividends.
Let's have a look at the share chart. So you can see there in the middle of 2015 took a bit of a dive. The recent published trading update, I think it was, indicated that Logicalis was sort of growing revenues at sort of a low 1 or 2%. Similarly, Westcon, similar. So I guess that's because of the reporting currencies,
That's
related weakness. You know, they tend to report their turnover and their, sales in dollars, and then they kind of work it backwards. The question is really now what to think. So obviously, if you can see from that recovery, people thinking they're a little bit oversold and the results not too bad. But how are you going to call this one? I've always battled a little bit to get my head around just quite how the next set of earnings will look.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think you could argue the share got a bit ahead of itself in the end of last year, so it corrected, went a bit too far. Yeah, I back this management team. I think there's enough of a mix. I think the currency translations are not unique to it, and that can turn as well.
They're stabilized.
So, yeah, I like where it is.
So you're going to go with hot. Okay, I think I'm going to go with not hot. Just feeling like this one might need to demonstrate a bit more earnings growth before I feel all that confident.